Thanks for spending your Saturday with us. I'm Matt Holzaffel. 2 new confirmed cases of coronavirus in Montana today. That brings the total for the state to 467. Both of those cases coming out of Yellowstone County, one a female between the ages of 70 and 79, the other a male between the ages of 10 and 19. Of those 467 cases in the state, only 20 are active, as you see on your screen. In Cascade County, there have been 17 confirmed cases, but only one of those is currently active. In Lewis and Clark County, there have been 16 confirmed cases, but none are currently active. When you take a trip to the grocery store, you might want to double-check prices on certain items. MTN's Caitlin Boycell takes us shopping for a closer look.
The prices in groceries are going up gradually, but one item that's being most affected is commercial beef.
Recently, the largest thing has been the meat, specifically beef.
Prices almost doubling for customers, but 2J's thinks that they have an idea of what's going on.
Well, I mean, we're thinking that this is kind of being caused by disruptions in the meat processing, as well as decreases in inventory of the meat supply.
But they've been finding ways to get around the issue.
We're actually turning more to local meats and local meat producers for product because it's less expensive than commercial right now.
We spoke with one shopper who's a local beef farmer who happened to be shopping, and she says she's happy with what she has.
Yeah, I feel pretty blessed just that we have our own beef, locally at home and that we can get and don't have to worry about how it's been being bought out.
She also says buying locally helps keep businesses going.
I would say so, just you're supporting local businesses, especially with what's going on and stuff. You're just supporting people, locally and keeping those businesses going because I'm sure that they're being affected quite a bit, on supply and demand,
Reporting in Great Falls, Caitlin Boycell, MTN News.
And 2J's also said that all grocery store items have been gradually increasing. For more information, you can check out our website. It's around this time of year that many graduating seniors are recognized for their achievements during their educational careers. One well-known program in Great Falls is Excellence in Education, a means of recognizing high-performing seniors from Great Falls High, CMR, and Paris Gibson Education Center, as well as the educators who guided them along the way. MTN's Lindsay Hyatt tells us more.
Each year, 34 students select 2 teachers who've helped them walk the path to success to be honored by the Great Falls Public Schools Foundation.
Since the public won't be able to attend this year's ceremony in person, we're bringing their stories to you. That's 3 stories from each of the 3 high schools, 3 students, 6 teachers, and 1 excellent education.
CMR student Braden Youngkin isn't your average high school senior.
In high school, I kind of focused on honors classes and especially science-based. So chemistry, physics, like intro to engineering, and I also focus quite a bit on math.
In fact, the word average has never been associated with any of his many talents.
Because he really excels in everything he does. He's an athlete, he plays an instrument.
The challenge for students like Braden is knowing how to best use all of their abilities.
A lot of them they're perfectionists and they want to do everything well, so they need to learn to break out of that comfort zone.
When Braden met his gifted education teacher in 1st grade, she helped him hone his less used skills.
He was such a math and science mind that I introduced him to public speaking, and then he ended up doing very well with that too. So just trying to find other avenues for them to succeed in.
She helped foster just a love for doing extra stuff.
Speech competitions, science expos, and an ability to learn outside his comfort zone.
And it was all because she just helped kind of foster that and helped me gain skills I definitely needed.
Skills he'd carry with him out of the elementary school classroom and into the halls of his high school. Braden continued to excel and pursue his love of math and science throughout his educational career. And when he struggled to grasp AP calculus as a senior, his math teacher guided him through the material.
I don't think I would understand calculus as well as I do without scare, just because the way he explained things was so much better than the book could do.
So much better that he plans to major in aeronautical engineering at MSU Bozeman next year, where he will continue to prove he is anything but average.
the sky's the limit for you, and that is no pun intended whatsoever.
He's truly one in a million. I think every teacher hopes they get somebody in their career like that.
Thanks for everything that you've taught me, and I hope I've taught you just as much.
In Great Falls, Lindsay Hyatt, MTN News.
And Braden is just one of several honorary CMR students designated within this year's Excellence in Education program. Tune in tomorrow night to hear how one Great Falls High student wouldn't let hearing impairment stop her from achieving academic excellence. Well, turning to weather, we've had a beautiful day for many of us with mostly sunny skies. Our Storm Tracker weather team is here to tell us more. Grant Garland joins us now. Grant, it has been beautiful today so far.
Oh, you had to do the Jim Carrey, Bruce Almighty act right
I
there.
had to.
You are right, though. It has been a fantastic day for most of us. Taking a look right now, Great Falls 68 degrees. We also saw Lewistown 64, Fort Benton 73, as well as the Helena region 68 degrees. Nice all in all. Lewistown did see a few more clouds than expected, which is why we didn't get quite as high in our temperature as we had expected. Today's high in Great Falls did reach 69 degrees. The record set back in 1988 when it was a warm and balmy 92 degrees. That was also the year that, hey, movie tickets were around $3.50. If only that were that today. They're around $12 back home. Elsewhere, looking at 64 degrees in Lewistown, 73 up in Havre, 70 in Cutbank, 65 in Missoula. Head on out to Spokane, 65 and 62 down in Butte. Now, we have been looking at clouds increasing, and this is all thanks to a low pressure that is pumping in moisture from the west coast. And we're going to talk about the big change that is on the way here in the next 48 hours. Matt, back to you.
All right, thanks, Grant. Well, York Road and Helena had a community-wide garage sale today. Participants took this sale as an opportunity for spring cleaning. MTN's Lexi Aguayo has more.
York Road neighbors are displaying items as part of a community-wide garage sale. For Darlene, this event serves as spring cleaning.
Absolutely it is. Nothing's going back in my house or the garage. And it worked out perfect since we were all isolated so long. We were able to pull a bunch of stuff out.
There are 11 houses participating in this community garage sale. Traditionally, it's held at York Park. But this year, with this whole pandemic and social distancing guidelines, things had to get a little creative.
As you can see, I tried to do that with my tables at least 6 feet apart.
You know, it's a lot more fun when we're able to go up to the York Park up there because we're all up there together, and it's easier for the people who come out here too from town. They can come to one central location. It's still fun because the people that come are always enjoyable to talk to. And
in Helena, I'm Alexi Guayo, MTN News.
And according to some neighbors, this is one of many events the York Road community hosts. They're also involved in festivals and community fundraisers. Well, retail outlet sales decline. The House approves a $3 trillion relief package, and more states continue to reopen. The latest coronavirus news from around the country is coming up.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 530 News continues on Montana's News Leader.
Sales at retail outlets nationwide plunged more than 16% last month, the biggest decline on record. JCPenney became the latest retail casualty of the pandemic when it filed for bankruptcy last night, joining the ranks of other major chains. This comes as more and more states are beginning to reopen in hopes of reviving the economy. At the same time, the House has approved a $3 trillion relief package. Michael George with CBS News gives us a look around the country.
The hope is that, like the action at Churchill Downs in Kentucky, the U.S. economy will be off to the races as retailers in 2/3 of the states reopen for business. Churchill Downs reopens today.
Those who love horse racing, you're going to see some fantastic racing.
Social distancing will be very distant. No fans in the stands. But in hard-hit Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, stores are ready for shoppers. John Henney hopes people stop by his family-owned jewelry business.
We have disinfectant and we have ways that we can clean the jewelry before and after anyone tries it on.
In Florida, selective businesses like restaurants and salons are reopening. In New Jersey, beaches are open, but rides there are closed. And everywhere, safety is the priority. But at the Buzzard's Nest in Wisconsin, bar patrons packed in after the state Supreme Court overturned the governor's stay-at-home order.
It's been kind of boring sitting in my house.
I love my fiance, but there's only so much we can handle of each other without having interactions from other people. Increased reopening comes after a week that saw nearly 150,000 new cases of coronavirus in the U.S. and more than 9,000 deaths. While scientists warn the worst could still be yet to come, Missouri Governor Mike Parson is among politicians trying to strike a balance.
But I'll just stress this. You have to be able to fight the virus, and you have to be able to open up the economy. Those two things have to go hand in hand.
Federal data estimates 42% of recent layoffs will become permanent. Economists say 100,000 small businesses have already closed for good, and many more are vulnerable. At University City High School in Missouri, more than 100 parents held a parade for their graduating kids. Anything but traditional, but still a celebration.
It's just like a small sacrifice that we had to make for the safety of, millions of Americans.
In Oklahoma, the pressure's on to start football practice.
Talk of these schools wanting to bring players back on June 1st is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. I think if we bring our players in even one day before we have to try to start a season, I think it's the wrong thing.
Well, back in the Treasure State, the Montana Army National Guard conducted a departure ceremony for 3 individuals from the unit. Sergeant First Class David Lambers, Staff Sergeant Chris Luke, and Commander Travis Grealish will be deploying to Europe for a 1-year tour. Their duty as U.S. Army National Guard firefighters in Europe is to provide fire support in the designated base. The ceremony was held at the parade field in Fort Harrison. Friends and family were also in attendance. The soldiers provided last hugs before deployment.
Like I've been saying all day, it's kind of like the longest goodbye I think I've ever had, just trying to prepare for it. But, just making sure that the soldiers are good, and I know they are, but just being away from family is tough, and so I know that's at the forefront of everybody's mind. It definitely is mine.
The soldiers will first stop in Texas for training before deploying to Eastern Europe.
Well, rain is moving into our area all the way right now from Oregon and Washington all the way down to California, and that's going to bring a lot of rain. But how much? Well, stay tuned to my full forecast coming up right after this. Welcome back, everybody. I hope that you have had a fantastic start to your weekend. We have been looking at really a mostly sunny day, but things are changing. Clouds are starting to roll in here in Great Falls, looking at 68-degree temperatures, 64 down in Lewistown. Head on out to Fort Benton, a lot warmer at 72, and Helena looking at 68 degrees. Elsewhere, we have seen 73 in Glasgow, heading up to Havre 72, out towards Missoula 65, down towards Butte 62. And clouds have been moving in, and the reason why is because this low pressure still off the coast. It is pumping in moisture, bringing rain from all the way from Washington down to California, and we have seen that cloud field moving towards the Treasure State and already in for a lot of folks from Cut Bank all the way down towards Lewistown and getting towards Billings. We're seeing cloud cover moving in to the area. Now, as far as what we're expecting for the next several days, this is what we're expecting. We are looking at a cold front that will be able to be brought onshore and starting to make its way towards Idaho by Sunday morning, tomorrow morning. Looking at still clouds for a lot of us for the western part of the state. Showers really staying confined towards the western and southwestern parts, but we could see maybe a few showers or two make their way towards Helena by late tomorrow night. Cold front still 6 p.m. tomorrow. Still on the western part of Montana, not really looking at any big change here in the Electric City, but as we head throughout the day, throughout the night rather, on Sunday and onto Monday morning, we're going to be looking at that cold front knocking on our door, starting to make its way towards the east, but it will slow down. Showers will start to increase from the west, and a low pressure will drop down from Alberta and Saskatchewan, and that will also allow for showers to be with us through the day on Monday. How much rain are we expecting to get? Well, things will really start picking up after 1 a.m. on Monday. That's when we're going to be looking at possibly receiving over 1/10 of an inch of rain by 7 p.m. Monday night. Only 0.05 of an inch possible in Helena Monday night. Tuesday, though, we're going to be looking at close to over 7/10 of an inch of rain in Missoula, starting to make its way out towards us by 5:30 on Wednesday. We could be looking at almost 1.9 inches, looking at it's forecasting 1.82 inches, but still a lot of rain, which farmers need to be careful of and be thinking what they can do as they get closer towards the middle part of the work week. By tonight, we're going to be looking at 30 to 40 mile per hour winds in Lewistown, as well as up towards Havre, and continuing throughout the night into tomorrow afternoon, 30 to 40 miles an hour here in Great Falls too. So also a windy day. Now you can always stay up to date with me on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, as well as on Instagram. As we head throughout the night, temperatures 52 degrees by around midnight with mostly cloudy skies, and for our friends in Helena, looking at 55 degrees as well. As we continue throughout this start of the work week, I hate to say it, but we're going to look at a chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms each and every day. So it's not going to be the best forecast for us, neither for our friends in Helena, looking at temperatures slowly getting down to around 58 on Friday, keeping a chance of rain each and every day. Don't go away. We'll be back right after the break.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 news continues on Montana's news leader.
Well, if you've been searching for your golf fix, last week world-renowned Old Works in Anaconda opened for the season. MTN's Dom Tibbetts tells us how they'll prepare to stay the course amidst the coronavirus pandemic.
Old Works Golf Course in Anaconda depends largely on the thousands of out-of-state players the Jack Nicklaus Signature Course attracts every year. But with Governor Bullock's 14-day mandatory quarantine for all out-of-state visitors, business has taken a hit.
Yeah, we're taking all that into account. I think we'll see a decrease in those travel rounds, but I'm hoping to see an increase in local rounds.
It's a tough situation for both Todd and the city of Anaconda to be in. Old Works drives a significant portion of the local economy. The course took a major blow when the high school spring sports season was canceled. So now they will rely on events like the Copper Cup and the Old Works Amateur this summer to jumpstart its season.
Thankfully, we don't have a lot of those early. None in April, of course, and a few in May. We've pushed those events into June and hope that we can still continue to have them.
Old Works greatly benefited from the $29 million deal the city struck with Atlantic Richfield. This year alone, they'll receive $350,000 to supplement their income, something a lot of other local businesses won't receive.
Well, Old Works is one of the few businesses in the state that doesn't have to worry about their longevity, as we have funding from Atlantic Richfield for the next 25 years to be subsidized. There's not another business in the state that probably can say that.
In Anaconda, Dom Tibbetts, MTN Sports.
While former Grizz Dante Olson is getting his pro football opportunity in the NFL, former quarterback Dalton Snead is headed north of the border to also play the game professionally. MTN's Kyle Hansen has more from Snead and how he's prepping for the next opportunity.
Dalton Snead knew he'd get an opportunity to pursue his dream of professional football. It was only a matter of when and where. That opportunity came calling at the end of March when Snead signed with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers of the Canadian Football League. Snead said he received some lukewarm interest from NFL teams, but opted to go with the more sure route in the CFL.
So I thought that, the best fit for me was going to the CFL. And I cannot be happier with it. Just the opportunity to go play again and kind of prove myself is just very humbling, and I just can't wait to get started.
However, the CFL, like the rest of the sporting world, is on hold due to the current pandemic. Snead was originally supposed to report to Winnipeg last Sunday, and his first practice would have been Monday, but those initial dates have been pushed back. The CFL also announced this week the season won't start before the beginning of July. So for Snead, it's a waiting game.
With them trying to get that all worked out, there's no real concrete answer or even best guess. I mean, it's kind of a waiting game at this point. It's kind of up to the player and everyone else to stay ready. Just stay prepared for when that moment does come and be ready for it.
In 2 years as UM's quarterback, Snead totaled 58 touchdowns and guided the Grizz back to the FCS playoffs for the first time since 2015 as the Grizz advanced to the quarterfinal round. Snead also recently got engaged, making it 2 big changes in his life after college. While he waits for his opportunity to roll around, Snead added that he's taking the time to sit back and enjoy that he's gotten to this point in his football career, an appreciation he says can get lost when constantly chasing goals.
I think I need to sit back and really realize the work that I've put in and the people that have really helped me get there and appreciate it more. You know, just thinking about it, talk about it, it's kind of like I've been saying, man. It's a dream come true, and I just can't wait to get started.
In Missoula, Kyle Hansen, MTN Sports.
And Snead is currently training with some old teammates and family at his home in Scottsdale, Arizona. We're back after this.
Tonight we're going to be looking at mostly cloudy skies as well as tomorrow. Temperatures are really warm, 75 degrees. Notice that as we go throughout the work week, we will see temperatures not only dive down, but also we'll see chances for showers and thunderstorms each and every day. And this continues as well as for our friends in Helena, showers and thunderstorms each and every day.
Well, a cafe in Germany celebrated its grand reopening to customers after lockdown by handing out pool noodles for social distancing. Cafe Roth in Germany handed those out, and their motto was "Keep the social distance" to celebrate their reopening. How do you like that?
I feel like I'd be a kid though.
Maybe we should wear those on air.
Let's do it. Why not?
Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.